What's up, everybody? So I'm back. So this weekend we have another card in Qatar. The main event, number 1, Arman Sarukian at 155, taking on number 6, the Hangman, Dan Hooker. And I'm going to just go over the main card and probably the main event on the prelims. So starting from the top to the bottom, number 1, Arman Sarukian, taking on number 6, Dan Hooker. This is a huge fight. Arman Sarukian desperately needs to get this win and probably needs to get it done in big fashion. You know, Dan Hooker's durable, tough as shit. They don't come any tougher than Dan Hooker. You know, I would have loved to see Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway in a BMF fight, especially now that Max is up at 155. But he's got Arman Sarukian on his hands. Arman, he's 3-0 in his last 3. I think he knocked out Beneil. He beat Charles Oliveira. And before that, it was Silva. So it was Silva, KO's Dariush in the first, and then gets a split decision against Charles Oliveira. And then he gets the title shot against Islam. Pulls out the day of the weigh-ins. Supposedly he had a hurt back. I'm not going to judge, but from all accounts that what I've heard was that he knew he wasn't going to make weight and he didn't want to fight without the title on the line. But that's on him if that's true. But he had his shot, and so now the UFC is making him work back to get that shot again. But now it's no longer Islam. It's Ilia Topuria, who is the champ at 155. Dan Hooker is tough as fuck, man. He really is. But I just think if Arman wrestles him, controls him, it's going to look more like the Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis fight. That's what I'm thinking, because he has been training with Khamzat. He's going to find the easiest way, the easiest path to victory, and get another title shot. So I think Arman will win. He's ranked number 1. He's looked good in the last 3, but he fumbled the ball. Fumbled the bag against Islam. So now he's going to have to work his way through Dan Hooker. I don't think Dan Hooker will be able to stop the takedowns, but if he can, it's gonna get real interesting because Dan Hooker is a fucking throwback fighter, man. He's a dog. He will fight you tooth and nail. He'll go to war and he'll enjoy it. That's the scary thing about it. Dan Hooker loves being in knockout, drag-out brawls. He loves it. He thrives on it. So if it turns into that, it's not going to be good for Arman. But I do believe Arman will get the win. And then maybe he'll get the next shot because you still have Gaethje, who's lower in the rankings, but he said that he's going to get the next shot. You got Patty there. Patty's making his claim to get the next shot. So we'll just see how this goes. I'm not sure yet. I know Ilya's going to fight at the beginning of the year. So it's probably going to be Gaethje. I was watching Believe You Me podcast with Michael Bisping and Dan Felder, and they had Ali Abdelaziz on, who is Justin Gaethje's manager, and he said that he believes, nothing's been signed, nothing's official, but he believes that the UFC will give Gaethje the next shot. So, with that being said, Arman needs to get a big win. He needs a huge win. You know, I don't know if a win's just going to do it. He might need a stoppage. So, that's the main event for the Qatar card. The co-main is number 2, Bilal Muhammad versus number 6, Ian Machado Gary. I just went over this in the welterweight breakdown. Ian Machado Gary is good. He's done a lot of favors for the UFC. He stepped in short notice multiple times. If Bilal will get out of his head and thinking that he's a boxer and get back to what he does the best, and that's mixing up his hands with the wrestling, I think he can get this done. If he gets the win, I don't know where he goes from there, especially if Islam is still the champ, which he is going to be the champ. He's still the champ. I don't think he fights Islam. I think he knows Islam will beat the shit out of him. He's trained with them, so he knows he doesn't have a chance against Islam. So I don't know where he goes from there, if he just waits it out. But, you know, you've got Morales coming up, Prates coming up, multiple guys that have already beat him, like Brady. He's already beat Leon. Like, it's just going to get muddy. So People who want to spice up the 170 division probably want Ian Machado Gary to win. But I just don't know if he can keep Bilal off of him. I'm sure Bilal learned a lot off of his mistakes against JDM in their title fight, which he lost. So I think he's going to go back to the old Bilal, which he should, and just wrestle more. Off the bat, make Ian Machado Gary work, control him, punish him on the ground, make him scramble, hit him on the brakes, use his boxing to just drop levels and shoot in again. Just keep the pressure on him. If he does that, Bilal will get the win. If he doesn't do that and tries to fight Ian Machado Gary like he did JDM, he's going to get beat. He just will. So, Bilal, if you want to win, go back to what you used to do. If you want to lose, do what you did against JDM. The next fight down, the feature fight, is at the light heavyweight division. Number 9, Volkan Ozdemir is taking on number 14, Alonzo Menafield. Volkan Ozdemir has fought the better competition. His last fight was a decision loss versus Carlos Ulberg, who is next in line for the light heavyweight title. I think Volkan Ozdemir should get this done. Alonzo Menafield, he looks for the KOs. Most of his wins are by KO. So if Volkan Ozdemir can just avoid getting caught with a big shot, he should get the win. Mix it up on the feet, on the ground. Even if he doesn't get it to the ground, make the shots, take the shots, get Menafield against the cage, lean on him, work him a little bit, and then get back to your striking. But I think Ozdemir should get this win. The next fight down, it's at the welterweight division. Jack Hermansson is down at 170 now. He was at 185. He was coming off a 1-2, I believe, in his last 3 at 185. But I'm interested to see how he looks at 170. He wasn't a big 185er, so I think the cut shouldn't be too bad for him to get at 170. But if Hermansson can get a win against, what's his name, Mitsabek Oralabi, he's from Kyrgyzstan, I think he should get the win. He's got great grappling, great jiu-jitsu, great pressure from the top. If Hermansson can get the job done, then he's just going to inject himself into an already stacked 170 division. That would be really, really interesting. I think Jack Hermansson gets it done. The next fight down is at heavyweight. Number 7, Sergey Spivak, the polar bear, taking on Shamil Gaziev at number 11. Spivak's good, man. His grappling is good. His judo and wrestling is good. I think he gets the win. I think he's been in there with the more experienced guys. I'm going to lean Sergey Spivak on this one. The opening fight on the prelim is Alex Perez versus Azu Albayev from Kazakhstan. It's a flyweight bout. I like the guy from Kazakhstan, Azu Albayev. I'm going to go with him on this one. I think Perez is going to have trouble dealing with his grappling. So I'm going to take Azu Albayev from Kazakhstan for this one. And then the last one I'm going to cover real quick, it's the main event on the prelim fight. It's one of the guys from the Muslim Brotherhood, Tagir Ulanbekov, coming out of the camp from Habib and all those guys. I believe he's 3-0 in his last 3. Let me look back real quick. Or he's 2-0 in his last 2, so he's only got 2 fights in the UFC. He's looked pretty good in the last 2. So I'm going to go with Tagir on this one over Kyoji Horiguchi. But that's going to be interesting. Horiguchi is a vet. He's back in the UFC. And he wants to put Japan back on the map, So this is going to be interesting at flyweight. Really interesting. But I'm still going to lean Tagir. He's ranked number 11. I think if he gets a big one, he'll jump into the top 10. The rest of the guys on this card, I really don't know much about them. None of their names are really jumping out at me. So this is just the initial picks for me because they don't have the betting lines out or anything. So they'll probably come out Wednesday or Thursday. I'll recap the card with the betting lines and the odds and all that. So all the good stuff that those of us that are bettors like to see. So, but that's my little mini breakdown for UFC Qatar Fight Night this weekend. It's going to be an early fight, because it is going to be in Qatar, and it's going to be Qatar time. So Central Time, where I'm at in Texas, the prelims are going to start at 9 a.m., and the main card will start at noon. So good day of fights, early morning of fights, and then by the time those finish up, It'll lead right into the big Riyadh season boxing, which I will break down later tonight. I got to do, I have a class to teach here in a little bit. So after I get done with that class, I will break down the Riyadh season card with David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde is headlining. And then we still got to get to the Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul fight and everything that's going on there. So that's my short little recap, breakdown of UFC Qatar Fight Night. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it with everyone you know that loves combat sports. See you on the next one. Peace.